welcome to my new Blender tutorial. Today I want to show you how to make this vehicle with suspension and rolling tires. So I don't want to waste your time. Let's get right started. So I'm start from a brand new file, and I'm gonna turn on my screencast keys so you can see what I'm typing. So first let's make a car very quick. We just extrude here on the y-axis and we extrude here on the y-axis. Then we push this up with G and that. Then maybe go a bit back and this and this. Oops. Of course, extrude, and this is already our car. We just make it a little bit bigger and we give it a little bit of a subdivision surface, and this is our futuristic cars. Of course, you can give here some crease values if you want to. So it's a little bit something like that. Yeah, it's quite futuristic. I like it. So now we move this up and now we need axis. So we gonna add cylinders here and we need them in the right direction. So RY90, and we apply the rotation. Now we move it in front, so GY, and we move it a bit on side, GX. So this is our one tire, and we double this and move it on the x-axis on this side, and then we just scale it down. And then we just scale it on the x-axis because it's just our axis, and we move it on that side. Okay, now we want this thing here just rotate to this axis here. So we say Q connect. Oh no, we need, we need of course a widget body here. And we need a widget body here with mesh and sensitivity to 0. And we need a widget body here and mesh as well, and margin on 0 again. Now we can connect these two object widget body and connect, but you can also, if you right press on your mouse, assign this to quick favorite or shortcut. I did this with quick favorite, so I just press Q and I say connect, and then you get this constraint for free, which is fixed, but we don't want fixed, we want a generic. And now we define how they can behave to each other. As I said, we just want to make this a little bit bigger so you can see something. We just want to make this to rotate on the x-axis. So that's why we take the constraint and say everything else we don't want a rotation, so we set this to 0. And of course no linear movement. I just can hold my mouse down here and then I move the cursor down. So I got everything selected. I just press 0 and everything is zeroed out. Now I'm adding a plane as the ground plane. I make this big. I apply the scale and I rotate it a bit around the x-axis so we get some. We can move the car now just on gravity, and I just make a short save here, and I apply all transformations. but I want the object origin to geometry. Okay, now we got this, and we can try out what happens, and you see it falls through because we didn't give a rigid body passive mesh to our ground plane. But now you see it's already kind of working because it's rolling down, you see? And the axis is perfectly keeping the rotation value to this. And now we have to fix the axis to the car. So we do it again. We select first the axis, then the car, and then we say connect again. And this new connection is now our spring. And the spring connects the car to the axis. So, and the spring should just move in that direction, no other direction. So, no angular movement, so we just say 0 out here. And no linear movement except that. But we need a linear spring value, so we change this to 50 and this to 5, and now watch this. You see, we got a little bit damping and the wheel is rolling. That's exactly what we want, and now we just copy these 4 times. So we take all these guys here, so we have all constraints selected, all cylinders, and we double this, and then we press Y to move it back, and then we have our back wheel. And if you try this out, you will see looks good. And now we do the same, but this time we copy the whole side, but without the lamp. And then we say Shift D S X -1. It copies on the x-axis but mirrored, that's why S -1, and then GX, and then we move it to the side. Move it to the side, maybe from the front view, yes, a little bit more I would say. And here we are, watch this, let's start. We have a car with suspension. That was the tutorial already, but just small improvements. We're gonna add here subdivisions. So right mouse click and say subdivide, and crank it up to 40. Then we do this again, subdivide and 4. And then we add here a displace modifier. We go to textures and choose not blend blood clouds. And as you can see, we already get something. We crank up the value here a bit. And then of course we say shade auto smooth. And on the modifier we can increase the strength a bit. And if you now let it fall, you see a bit more the suspension working. As you can see, the car is not as much moving as the wheels. This was it for this tutorial. I hope you learned something. Have fun. Bye.